promise. The modern day church equates taking up your cross to giving up chocolate bars and Lent. They do. They think that's the same thing. And so, because that's how we brought people into the church, sin is subjective. It's whatever you want it to be. If you have no God, if you have no 10 commandments to go by, I ask people all the time, so when you stand before the Lord after I've read off a few of those commandments, you going to be found guilty or innocent? That's the question we need to be asking. Not would you like a better life? Don't you want all these promises that aren't promised to you? We need to ask him, you going to be found guilty or innocent? The saints of God, whether he splits the Easter scar and you die, you're going to face him in your lifetime.
Yes.
And you're going to be judged accordingly. And then the next question, where are you going to go then? But it's all subjective now, without that law. And so, compare myself to Brother Rick here. Or somebody else. The only comparison is to the Christ, amen?
Amen.
And so the church has omitted the 10 commandments. Because it brings in more numbers. But what happens every time people start worrying about numbers in the Bible? If you got an army of 3,000 and you try to give more, what does God do? He takes it down to 300. Just in case you wasn't excited about 3,000. Why? Because he wants us to trust in him. Amen.
Amen.
But once again, as in the days of old, this nation falters between two opinions. And many of you have been faithful and you said, "Here am I, Lord, send me." You've been waiting, your hearts have been grieved. You felt hopeless watching America just deteriorate. I can't hardly stand to watch the news.
That's right.
Can't stand it. I'm thankful that I'm not trusted in all those crooked politicians. Because there's only one salvation for us, amen. And some of you feel like you've been under that all-consuming fire like Peter. And but you know those cowardice acts be burned out. They're going to be burned up, amen. Burned out of your lives. But how can we help and how can we hope to change these dark times we live in? How can we possibly make a difference? You know, I studied the character of God in the Bible, and one of his characteristics is if you don't do the last thing he told you when he said go, he ain't going to tell you another one until you do the last one he told you to do. Let's open our Bibles to Mark 16:14. The Bible says, "Afterward he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them in their unbelief and hardness of heart." It's easy to fall into unbelief if you watch the news, because they believed not them which they had seen after he was risen. And he said unto them, "Go ye unto all the world, preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. So then, after the Lord had spoken to them, he was received up into heaven and sat on the right hand of God. The last thing he ever told us to do. And they went forth and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them and confirming the word with signs following. And we have to ask ourselves, am I doing that? You know, my children, you know, this is Father's Day, and I love my children, but they think I'm the most ridiculous person in this world. And they don't come right out and tell me that, but I know because they live their life just as far opposite as I raised them and still survive. They push the line just as far as they can push it. But I tell you who don't think I'm ridiculous. That's Satan.
Come on, Dan.
When I got those guys or gals in the back of my car taking them dinner, looking at the back of my bald head, and I swing the conversation over to the law, and I see that brokenness coming, and I hear it, and then it allows me to switch over to God's promises and glory.
Amen.
Satan hates that. He hates it. But saints, we've all fallen short. Elijah, Peter, all of us have fallen short. But we serve a God that never fails. Amen? Never fails. Even in our inadequacies.